Williams, the man accused of shooting him, was indicted on several charges, including attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. He pled not guilty. Now 3 people are accused of helping that suspect get a firearm. 2 of them, his mom and girlfriend. Prosecutors say Asa's mom, 51-year-old Erica Williams, bought a gun for her son 5 months after he was released from prison. Prosecutors say she lied while buying it as well, saying the gun was for herself. And Asa's girlfriend, 24-year-old Alice Verdicia, pled guilty too. Prosecutors say she delivered the gun to Asa even though she knew he couldn't legally have one. And 51-year-old Dwayne Anderson pled guilty as well. Prosecutors say he met Asa at a gun show and said he could help him get a gun without a background check. Prosecutors say none of these guns were used to shoot Moldovan. We reached out to the Department of Justice asking where that gun came from. We're told they are working to get us a response. And Asa's mom could be in prison up to 10 years. His girlfriend and Anderson could be in prison for up to 5 years. Asa is awaiting trial, which is set to begin this fall. Derek?
I mean, Emma, we've been watching Officer Moldovan's recovery over the last several years so closely. What is the reaction about these guilty pleas today?
So we reached out to Plea about this case. The president says he's pleased about the guilty pleas. He added in his statement, anyone who helps someone get a firearm illegally should be held accountable. Guys.
Emma Lockhart in the newsroom for us tonight. Thank you.